Hi everybody, I have an interesting video for people who like to make drawings with Inkscape. It's a little bit theoretical, and it's for those of you who are interested in geometry, but also those of you who are interested in AI. So the basic question is how to draw a nice heart like the ones I have here in my example in Inkscape. Now, in principle, that's not too difficult. I'm going to show you how to do it the easy way. I want to talk a little bit about different ratios, and I want to talk to you how ChatGPT would instruct a human being on how to do it in Inkscape. So this video is great for if you're interested in Inkscape. It's interested if you're interested in sort of like ChatGPT stuff to the degree because I really like working with ChatGPT. I think it's a great system. But in this case, it doesn't give very good instructions to people, and that's an interesting thing. So if you're interested in that, I will go in all of that. So first, let's just show you how you create a simple heart shape in Inkscape. It's fairly simple. So I draw a rectangle here, something like this. It must be uh, higher than its wide. Let me go to pixels. Sometimes that's a little bit nicer. And on opacity here, I go on 50. Now everybody knows probably how to draw like a rectangle. So you go on rectangle tool and just draw that here. So what you need to do next is you need to make sure that you make the top rounded. And I just undo that a little bit. It needs to be long enough. You round it, and then okay, so that's where you're done basically. Then you need to make sure that the bottom is not rounded. So the way I do that is I press duplicate, and then uh, I move that to the right. I go here on R, I type R again to on the rectangle tool. I make this one just a regular rectangle, unrounded. I pull that down a little bit, and then I have snapping on. So I snap this exactly to the bottom. So make sure it's actually it's at exact. I want to make sure it's perfectly snapped at the bottom and at the center. So now I have a nice. Now this might actually be this would work. So to show you the principle, so what I would do now is I type X on the keyboard. I select everything. I type X, or that is the shape builder tool. I just press down the mouse button and then I select everything. So now I have like this sort of like yeah, at the bottom, at the top I have the lobe. So now what I need to do is I duplicate it again with Control D. Then I hold the mouse button to shift that away. So I have two of these shapes. I rotate this one here 90 degrees. So you can type Control right bracket. So you can do that manually, or you can with the keyboard, or you can type like this, and then I move it here. Again, perfectly snapped. Now, in order to get it right, you need to zoom in a little bit. And now there's my heart shape. So if I group this, I click on it another time, then I hold the control key and I move it. I rotate it, and then I've perfectly hard. So you could so like all make this in one color. Um, Different ways of doing it. You can also you know use the shape builder and combine it all into a nice heart shape. So this is great, right? So now you can say, well, this I would like the ratio between the width and the height of the original rectangle will help you to find the right um, how far these lobes are so like indented. But how so this is actually fairly simple. You can do this really quickly, and you get a perfect heart shape. So now, one thing is that when you want to do it better, so I undo it. If you want to make a rectangle, what I would recommend actually, if you want to do it really right, so I would make, for example, go on rectangle. For the width, for example, select 100, and for the height, select 150. So that I think is a really good ratio. Um, if you do it the same thing that we just did again, so like you have 100 wide, 150 high, then you get a really nice heart shape. So let me do the duplicate. So I have two of these. This one I round um, the bottom part. I don't want to have rounded. Um, in Inkscape, I don't think there is an easy way to do the rounding like only at the top. So, but this is easy enough. I snapped it on there. I have this. I can already with the shape builder. I can create that. I can make just a simple path of it. Did I do that correct? Yep. So then I duplicate it again, rotate 90 degrees, shift it in, and then I think the ratio of 1.5 is sort of like really nice. I can do another time like this with the shape builder, and then there is my heart. All I need to do is rotate it 45 degrees. Perfect heart, really nice. What you can do, you can, for example, type Shift and then on the color so that you get the outline, and you press then the red cross here. So then you just have the outline. You can yeah, you can have a different with what you can also do to perfect that is maybe you want this not pointy. You can go on the path, then you click on the add corners, and then you can make this, for example, like rounded, and you can also make this less strong if you want that. There are different ways of doing that. So then it, if you want to make an icon, a heart icon, for example, this looks quite cool. And you can fill it again, of course. Okay, but now so that is the simple way, and maybe all you want to know is how to draw that, and you can stop here. But what I want to share with you is actually what ChatGPT suggests. Now, ChatGPT, uh, I said to ChatGPT, for example, uh, what's the best way to do this? So let's go. I get my ChatGPT window here. So basically, what I initially I said to ChatGPT what my strategy is. So I said, I want to draw a perfect heart shape using Inkscape. My solution is this. I start with a rectangle that is 1.5 as high as it's wide. Then I round the top of the rectangle, so I have a rectangle in which the top is rounded. Now I duplicate this new shape, then I rotate one of them 90 degrees, and together these two shapes form a perfect heart shape. Do you follow me? And then I really like that about ChatGPT, how it actually says, yes, I follow your idea. Here is a breakdown of what you're describing. And then it says exactly what I just showed you. But then it says at the end, this approach will give you a heart-like shape, but it might not form a perfect mathematical heart. A more accurate heart can be constructed using symmetrical shapes like circles and triangles, or using Bezier curves. Would you like guidance on how achieving a perfect symmetrical heart shape? And then, well, first okay, so I wanted to, but then I said later, now explain your original method of drawing a perfect heart shape in Inkscape. And this is actually what's really interesting, because I could not follow these instructions. Now, I think Inkscape is correct. So ChatGPT is actually correct in that you can do it this way, with circles and a triangle, but it's not easy to follow. So what do they say actually? Say first, it says draw a circle for the top lobes. So select the circle tool, draw a circle, hold control while dragging to create a perfect circle. The circle will form one of the upper lobes of the heart. So that is straightforward. Uh, Duplicate the circle, move the duplicate horizontally so that the two circles touch each other. Use control to constrain movement horizontally. Now, so that they touch each other. Okay, that's fair enough. Let's do that. So if we do that, if we just move a little bit more here, so let's do it in the gray area. So what it basically says, you draw a circle, you hold control to so that you have perfect aspect ratio. I duplicate it, and then that they touch each other, and I'm not sure if they how so this would be they touch each other. Okay, so then uh, okay, so I'm here, move the they touch each other. Okay. Select the polygon star tool, okay, and set it to triangle in mode. Shift F9 to triangle in mode. Well, let me see if that's what it is. I'm not sure if I Shift F9. But that is the Okay, so they mean this tool here. I'm not sure on Linux if you, yeah, that's right. On Linux also Shift F9 works. Also you can just press the star, but Shift F9 works. So ChatGPT really good about it. Then what do they say? Should I do set it to triangle in mode? Okay, so triangle in mode. I think okay, I think they mean this. No, regular polygon triangle in mode. Now I don't know exactly what it means with triangle in mode. Um, well there, what does it mean with triangle in mode? I could of course ask it. Then it says draw an isosceles triangle, base at the top pointing down. Okay, hold control to ensure symmetry. Resize the triangle so that its base matches the diameter of the circles and its tip extends downward to form the point of the heart. Now that is actually not that clear to me. The diameter of one of the circles or of the circles? I guess this is then select all shapes, both circles and the triangle. Open the Align and Distribute panel. Align the centers of the shapes. Which shapes? All of the shapes horizontally. Combine the selected two circles and the triangle. Use the path union to merge them into a single shape. Right. Okay. So if we that's okay. So okay. Resize the triangles so its base match the diameter of the circles. Okay. Let's try to do this. So I'm going to make a triangle. Uh, and I'm going to make sure the size matches the diameter. Now the diameter here of my, what's the diameter? Uh, that's from left to right. So if I want to make a triangle that matches the diameter, I could select roughly, um, how I want to make, okay, so that would be one. And then basically what it says is, that could also mean doesn't seem, maybe it means that it matches the diameters of both circles. I think that makes more sense. And then um, select all shapes, both circles and the triangle. Align and distribute. Align the centers of the shapes horizontally. Okay, align them horizontally. Now, if I do that, then uh, then you get this. I okay, so maybe it wants that. Align. Select the two circles and the triangle. Use path union to merge them into a single shape. I don't think, I think it, I need to move this again and then move this one again. But that doesn't work. If I then see, here I already get lost. This is not straightforward to me. And I kept going on with this and I couldn't really figure it out. And then in the end, it even gave me a diagram of, but then here's a diagram showing step-by-step instruction for drawing a perfect heart shape in a vector graphics editor like Inkscape. It illustrates the alignment and combination of geometric shapes, such as circles and a triangle. But I couldn't figure it out. Let me know if you need further adjustments. Um, I asked for clarification. I couldn't figure it out. Now, it is true, though, that in principle, you can create the heart with a triangle and with the but the question is really where do they meet? So you can do it, and I'm not sure if I should be on snap mode or not. If you do it at the right spot, you you could sort of like do it, but it's very tricky actually to get it aligned perfectly. And I do not recommend to do it like this way. It can be done, but I it it you it doesn't seem to be straightforward. It doesn't seem to be straightforward. Now I want to show you why ChatGPT is in principle correct, and I'll show you that is a very tricky thing. So let me first start with my rectangle again. I'm going to just, and I like to work with a good ratio. So I make one that's 100 wide and 200 high. No, sorry, 150 high because that gives me a uh, nice shape. So now, however, I'm going to do this slightly differently. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually making this 100 wide and 100 high, and I'm now duplicating this one here just for making a perfect circle. So from this one, I will make a perfect circle, and that I will use that later in my explanation. Now this one, again, I go back to this one here, and I'm going to resize this again to what I said. I wanted 150 high because you need that later. Okay. So what we now do is I'm going to, as I did in the previous one, I'm going to round this. I duplicate this one. I unround this, and then I take the bottom part of it. I snap that on this one. It's just the easiest way to do it. I combine these. I use the path maker for that. I like that actually somehow. Then it's just one path. Also, what I will do is I will make all these things 50 in opacity so that if you overlay them, actually, if you put something over top on top of each other, then you see that. All right. Okay. So now all I need to do here is, but now what I also want to do is I give this a different color. I make it yellow and I put it on top of here. So you see one of the lobes here is made from a circle. Now I'm going to group, and I'm going to duplicate this. And now I'm going to rotate this 90 degrees and I snap it on here. And there's my heart. I group this again and I click on it and I move that 45%. Now, the reason why I do this is I want to show you that indeed my heart here, or the heart in Inkscape, not my heart, obviously, the heart here in Inkscape is created from two circles and a triangle at the bottom. So you can see that in principle, this blue um, rotated square, the half of that is that's a triangle. So it's true that so for example, if I would take um, half of that, so let me try to see if I can take it out. I duplicate that. And now let me see if I can take this blue rectangle out of it. I use the path maker for that, so I do it like this. Bang, there we go. Good. I take that, and now I'm going to, I want to see if it's possible for me to take half of that. That should be possible if I do it like this. So if I actually do it like this, I could do this, and then I take the difference of it. So now I have that triangle. So basically, if we take this uh, this one, let me duplicate it one more time, and let's take with the path effect. Let's say I take the two circles, but not the triangle. So it is in principle possible to move this um, triangle somewhere so that it combined belong creates a perfect heart. So if you do it like this, if you can manage that. But it's not straightforward to make a heart just from a triangle and two circles. If you know how to do it, tell me how to do it because maybe it's funny. Artificial intelligence, in this case ChatGPT, is so clever that it says, yeah, this is so like the perfect way to do it. So they start with a different shape, but in the end, it's not so easy to do it that way in Inkscape. But you could argue, okay, so I can start out with two circles as I've here. So if I take these two circles and this, I can make a perfect heart shape out of it. But it's not easy to do that. If you know how to do it uh, straightforwardly, tell me how to do it. Leave it in the comment or make your own video. I would be curious about that. So that's what I wanted to talk about. Um, so what do you think of that? And do you sometimes use Inkscape to give you advice on how to draw things in Inks? Do you sometimes use ChatGPT to draw things in Inkscape? Curious to hear what you feel about it. This was just sort of like, something I like to draw stuff with Inkscape. Um, and assume that if you have watched it until here, you do too. So like and subscribe to my channel. That really helps. Bye for now.